My lousy browser crashed. Now I have to start all over again. Well, I wanted to talk about the 2018 midterm elections. Now that we're starting over, all my bloopers and blunders are out of my system and I can remember what year it is. So we did not have a blue wave sweep the House and the Senate. Democrats took back the House of Representatives, which was expected. I held out hope that the way the poll numbers were slim majority, but now Democrats can prove that they're willing to come to the table and talk to us. Meanwhile, I'm coming to you from the darkened, cigar smoke filled back room in parts unknown. But the things we got to come together on here and understand is that America is going to change with the number of retiring Republicans we had and the media and celebrity divide in the country. We were going to lose some seats. And Donald Trump pointed out, the senators and governors that embraced him and campaigned with him, for the most part, won. He won more races than President Obama as far as this campaign goes. Uh, a lot of candidates asked the Clintons not to come out with campaigns. That'll help Trump get his judges appointed, and judges are important because Democrats want to legislate from the bench. Republicans want an interpretation of the Constitution in regard to the law. And Trump wants to keep appointed judicial experience. Supported Brett Kavanaugh, won. So there was not a backlash against Trump for sticking with Brett. Democrats, like Nancy Pelosi said, are truly country. Everyone I've talked to says that their inside sources are overhearing Democrats saying nothing in your confetti, and it did not convict him because some Republican senators jumped sides and voted not to put the country through a full-on impeachment and removal of the president. So keep in mind the McSally election in Arizona, you're still not going to get a conviction. So look at the things that the president and the Congress already did. Um, Republicans need to take away from the election. We lost the suburbs, which in past elections had been the Republican strong point. Your national security, which is vital. They focused on lower hood, whatever F they're on now, fighter jet. It's not. How is border security going to secure my neighborhood? You can make connections, but you've got to talk to their level. Keeping my neighborhood safe is the most famous line in all of politics is all politics are local. To win our state legislator seats in states like California and New York, to win congressional races in California and New York, everywhere across the country, you have to make politics local. You have to make people understand how lowering taxes at the corporate level leads to lower gas prices at the pumps. You need to make them understand how lowering taxes makes groceries more affordable. You've got to make them understand that. They're not worried about the Dow Jones being at a record high. That doesn't affect my next door neighbor. It doesn't affect me. It shows that the economy is strong. It's an indicator of how good things are going. Even thousands and millions of jobs created means nothing to the guy who has been to college, the woman that's been to college and been indoctrinated by their professor to think that they have to pay a higher tax rate so that the next guy can go to college. That's bullshit. You gotta make a people understand that the Democrat Socialist way of thinking, which is the new Democratic Party, is not going to work in America. You've got to make it a local argument. You've got to make people understand how, as a conservative, you're going to help them protect their home, be it the Second Amendment rights that the Democrats are trying to take away, be it the higher taxes that are going to take food off the average person's table by raising prices at the gas pumps. You've got to make politics local again. You're never going to win a Senate seat in the state of California. You're not going to have another fluke governor like Arnold Schwarzenegger in California. You're going to have to make your fight at the local level and appeal to the people in the suburbs. You've got to make it local. You've got to make them understand how you are going to help them put gas in their tank, how you're going to help them put food on their table, and how you're going to keep their neighborhoods secure. That's how Republicans win elections in the future. That's how we win the suburbanites back. Yes, some suburban white women are turned off by Trump and his alpha male ego and his abrasiveness. We're just going to have to deal with that, and we're going to have to hit that Midwestern rural base hard in 2020. But the fact of the matter is, politics are local. We've got to get back to basics and grassroots and get grassroots information in the hands of the suburbanites and tell them how we're going to make their neighborhood safe, how we're going to keep food on their table, how we're going to keep them employed, how we're going to help them keep their neighborhood secure. Those are the things we need to worry about. Sorry, I just scratched my nose. It was the outside. I did not pick. That was a scratch. Now, back to my rant. This is where we win elections in the future as conservatives. I want to talk lastly about this Jim Acosta accosting the microphone holder at the press conference. I get this stove going now. We might have to light back up. Hold on. Doing too much talking and not enough turning. Now, so Jim Acosta from the Clinton News Network comes out there, tells President Trump, I'm going to challenge you on this caravan of migrants that's making its way up through Mexico. There are thousands of them, and I'm sure most of them are good people that just want to make a better life for themselves, because this is America. It's the last great hope for man on earth, and they know that. They know this is the land of opportunity, where the streets are paved with gold. They know America is great. And President Trump said we need these people to fill jobs. Yes, you crackers down south. We need people to fill jobs, but they need to come here legally. Trump tried to blow Jim Acosta off by saying, well, we have a disagreement in terminologies. I think this is an invasion. You think it's a caravan. Well, it's an invasion without an army. It's people coming here not through the legal means. And I actually recently offered to sponsor a young lady to become a citizen. Um, it didn't work out because she turned out to be a wackadoodle. But nonetheless, you know, we've got people that want to be Americans. And I'm proud of that. I'm glad there are people that want to come to my country. But they have to do it legally, and that's what President Trump said. Well, Acosta wasn't content with the statement that we just disagree on terms. That Trump says he calls it an invasion, Acosta calls it a caravan. He didn't want to give up the microphone. So I've watched this back and forth several times. He puts his hand down on this young lady's elbow, causing her elbow to bend. You see a reaction from her, and you see him react as, whoa, she's not moving her arm as easily as I thought she would. Then he pulls his arm back. It started with him blocking her by turning his body a certain way so she couldn't reach the microphone. Then he physically tried to brush her arm away. And then as she was holding on to the microphone, he put his hand over top of hers and held on to it with two hands. And then you see her turn away and kneel down on the floor beside him now. That's why he had his press pass revoked. Not because he challenged the president, not because he asked Donald Trump a hard question. It was for laying hands on a woman, and you don't do that. You never put your hands on a woman. So, Mr. Acosta and your supporters and the media, this just isn't going to work. Big dog Trump ain't going to play that game. Sarah Sanders is not going to play that game. And the media needs to ask questions, not go into these press conference or daily briefings with the idea that we're going to debate. It's not a debate. You can make it a debate. It's a free country, but it's supposed to be a Q&A. And Trump answered questions for 90 minutes. And Trump needs to tone his rhetoric down. You know, he needs to relax a little bit. I don't think he, incited the iceberg to sink the Titanic, as some reporters would have you believe. I don't think he incited Lee Harvey to shoot JFK. I don't think he incited the Texas University shooter when he was 20 years old. But some Democrats would have you believe that every mass shooting, every incident since Trump was born in 1946, he somehow incited. And the Titanic, I don't know if he has Jedi powers or time traveling, but somehow he incited the iceberg to strike the Titanic while he was at it. So there you go. Everything's Donald Trump's fault. But Jim Acosta, you don't put your hands on women, plain and simple. You should have handed the microphone over. You got your question answered, and that was that. So that's my little spiel for today. My second spiel of the day. I did a little thing for veterans earlier. And hey, if you like this, hit subscribe. There's a notification bell if you want to get notified every time I'm talking. These are going to be political gabs with a cigar. And I'll probably talk some local politics eventually. Probably talk a lot more on this channel as time goes by. But I just wanted to talk right now about this 2018 midterm. And I'm looking forward to 2020. So enjoy, like me, hate me, but do respect me. And God bless America. You guys have a great Monday. And thank you for listening to me.